Hey, what's going on, folks? Let me see. It looks like the broadcast deleted on Facebook. Go live. All right. Maybe we did go delete it on Facebook. I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. Folks, I don't know if we're live or not. I'm looking for some sort of post up on here so I can see what's going on the comment area. The comment area would definitely let me know how we're making out on this version of the video. Crystal, how you doing? Crystal, it looks like we are old with this video. I'm just trying to make sure that we're on point, everybody. Um, Normally, I'd have my people out here. I'm looking at things. I just want to make sure that I am on for 9:15 scheduled. Let me see, because I'm not. Hey, look, I could wear a lot of hats, folks, but I mean, I can't wear them all. Uh, Watch Tatami Williams show offers tips. Okay, good. Now, it looks like on YouTube, this is us. Save the changes. All right. What's going on, Crystal? Crystal, what's going on? Looks like we're right here live in the flesh. Crystal, we are right here. Okay, fantastic. Let me go ahead and post this up. I appreciate you. Um, it seems that we are in the building. I have the one and only Thomas Williams. That's my dad right there. Wendy Williams, how's she doing? She's doing good. Thank you very much for the inquisition. She's doing very well. You know, and this show is definitely all about the Williams bunch and the Williams clan. We had a wonderful day today. We actually, my dad had attended an HBCU, the first HBCU, which was Morgan. I'm sorry, Lincoln University. Lincoln University. Dad, when was that Lincoln University established? Give a little
18,
history.
1854.
1854. So that lets you know a little something, folks. You see, I'm coming back from the occasion. We have 1882 right here on my shirt. Virginia State University representing to the fullest. I definitely took a little pipe into my parents' pocket and drained down, only to find out and only to try to acquire an education. And that's where we were back in the 80s, folks. You know, in the 80s, it was another time. When I first went off to college, I was a English major because I'm what's known as a rider, folks. And you know what? It doesn't it doesn't sadden me. It doesn't make me feel, oh, okay, good job, Boogie. You're over there peeing. Good job. Yeah. It doesn't make me feel any less of a person to be a rider. It just means that my parents really afforded me an excellent childhood, and they really showed me what a superhero would look like outside of the idiot tube, outside of the television. You know, a lot of people look for superheroes within the television. You know, underdog, Superman, Aquaman. You know, they all sound great. I love swimming, and I would probably choose Aquaman. But reality is different. And I didn't grow up in a time of Dr. King, you know, to really get a superhero, to really be able to see and get an insight on what a superhero or somebody with a super strength to be able to persevere. Because I truly believe that Dr. King was one to be admired, you know. And if I were in that time or in that era, you know, I would probably choose my alpha brother, Dr. King, because I believe that to have the fortitude to be able to move forward in um, in the eyes and in the hands of a bully, you know, I use that phrase quite a lot on my channel because it's something that really means a lot to me. A bully. We have one life to live, one life. And we individually should live it to the fullest. Should be able to grab hold of it and do the very best that we can for ourselves. Grab onto love, grab onto a livelihood, a craft, a passion, a dream. We should have all those capabilities, and all those are accessible to us individually. In the 80s, 1985, dialing it back, I didn't have a chance. I didn't have an opportunity to really see anybody on the screen. It was Jesse Jackson, right? Rainbow Coalition. Everything was kind of flimsy, because politics would throw a lot at you, especially if you're not political. And at that point, I'm 17 years old. I'm not political. I wanted to get out the house and spread my wings, you know. So my parents were my heroes. My parents were my heroes all the time. And that's a big job. And I hold my dad to it every day. That's a big job, big shoes to fill. He didn't ask to fill them. He just was a dad. And, I don't really know what that feels like, because I'm not a dad. But I'm an educator. And I've been an educator for a long time. And it seems like a big job. So I say to you folks tonight, I'm here with my role model, my superhero dad. And we're here to talk about his work. He's put out numerous publications since 1979, when he first crouched down and sat down in his deemed area, the study. That's where it all took place. Paperweights, memorable tape dispensers, what else do you have in there, Dad? Magnifying glasses, wide array of books and literature from all spectrums and all genre. He had it all, folks, but it was not to be touched. Only by the worthy. What is the worthy? Well, as I find, and as we kick around the word, the big L, literary, I hear it all the time. I've been an educator, like I said, for a long time, but I've never been literary. I've never been in the literacy department, I've always been math, social studies, science, things like that nature. Not that I don't see myself being able to carry forth the mission of educating the youth in literacy, but I haven't had any experience. And so I'm outside of my box. I'm outside of the realm. So he remains the superhero, because he does what I cannot fathom. So this evening's show, Saturday, we're just coming back from the HBCU event. I talked about my dad being a graduate of Lincoln University, class of 1950. 59, 50, 51, 52, 53, 1953. The Lincoln Lions. We tried to get him a t-shirt. Nita tried her best to order a t-shirt, get it on time, so my dad can don his Lincoln University t-shirt. And I tried to have Nita go online and order me another Virginia State t-shirt. She ordered this one actually about a year ago for the last big HBCU event. This year, she was actually held in office. Nita was on the committee. And you know how our Renita is. Our Anita is so extra, and on point. So she wanted to make sure that we all, came in our attire and things. But, it came a little too short. Um, Amazon wasn't delivering the shirts until Tuesday. So I found my t-shirt. My dad put his Alpha Phi Alpha shirt on, and I thought that was just as good. Slow motion, folks. One thing that I realized as I climbed the hill of life, if I knew who Job was, Job, Job has the patience, and the only person, and I'm telling you folks, because I throw it to my father every time I can at this point in my life, because I cram to understand, because I want to make sure I understand every aspect of this man who's sitting beside me. He has patience beyond this guy, beyond anything that I can dream about. I'm not a patient person. I'm not. I try. I learn. I sit. I watch. I do the very best I can. I try to be the very best me that I can be. Um, his patience, and I'll tell you, folks, and I'll tell you as I steam up, and you see me, and you know me. His patience can break a man down. It can break a man down. I view myself as a strong person, very strong, very in tune and in touch with myself. But it's not always when you want it. And as I see my father's corners of his mouth turn up to a neutral position, he knows what I'm speaking about. It's not when you want it. But there's a relationship in life. There's a relationship in life. And for anybody you care about and you really, you want the best for, the relationship has to come together. And I think that was that that work, that piece my dad did, that was his first piece, cohesion. And that means the world to me. Because where would we be without cohesiveness? Cohesiveness. You ready, Dad?
Oh, yes.
Crystal, I see. When is Wendy Williams going to start her podcast? Well, I'll tell you, Crystal. I don't know. We're all individuals, Crystal. So I would advise you to watch social media. I try to put my videos on a little bit in advance so you could plan and you could know what's forthcoming. Perhaps Wendy will do the same so that you can get a heads up on what's heading at what's coming your way. Um, Wendy looks like her dad. Exactly. And let me tell you, if you could if you this guy, yeah, they have the heads. The captains of the vessel. The captains of the vessel are Wendy and my dad. Wendy has a serious cabeza on her, and my dad. Let me tell you something. We might look like we have the same size head right here on video, but his head is from a whole nother world, folks. I beg your pardon. Don't put me in that category. Good stuff. All right, so thank you very much, Miss Miranda. Tommy, you are my favorite on YouTube. Hey, listen, I don't think you'll ever find a person as real as me, and I'll be straight up with you. I'll be straight up with you. I come straight at you. You know, there's nothing that I want from your pockets. There's nothing that you can do for me. There's only something that I could do for myself. And I truly believe that. You know, as God is my witness, I am my own savior outside of him. I'm trying to do the right thing, folks. These days are not promised. My dad did a big dive from the 4 feet area in the pool today, and I tried to put that out on social media for everybody to see, because I truly believe that, folks, you cannot be sedentary. You got to move. You got to move. As I embark on my 55th birthday, God willing, I make it. I'm trying to show everybody. I'm trying to show my mother. I'm trying to show my father. I'm trying to show everybody out there who wants to look. You take the pressure off your joints in the water. It creates buoyancy. And you get out there. My dad shared with me he had a brother named Willie. And his brother passed away. He drowned. That was the saddest story I heard. That was the first sad story I heard in my life. That was the first sad story I heard in my life. And I remember that story. And every time I go out and do anything in the water, whether it be swim, surf, jet ski, sail, whatever it is, I keep in mind the respect, the fear, and the uncertainty of the water. Thank you very much, Miss Manda. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh man, I'm not the best. We're the best. We're the best. You know, because you all bring it out of me. My dad my dad next to me right now in solemnness, he brings it out of me. Because I know he could cut me off at any moment. But him letting me speak right now lets me know I'm on the right path. It's my truth path. I love talking. There was a guy out there at the cookout today. He said, I could tell you love talking. You're made for talking. And I am, with the right audience. I don't like to gossip. I don't like to push around who's doing what, who's doing who. That doesn't mean anything to me, folks. I'm a builder. There's a couple of people that are involved on a construction site. You have the constructors who are putting it up and the destructors who are tearing it down. I'm part of the construction crew, not the wrecking crew. I wear the yellow hat. I come in peace. You know, I come in peace, folks. You can rest assured. As long as I'm in front of you, I come in peace. You know, and I come in peace, and I come with a sense of positivity because I feel as though the planet needs it. Yeah, I feel as though the planet needs it. You know, linguistic. Stephanie Risby, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, I am honest. Hey, listen, I have major issues and major problems. I could tell you some stories, but I can't at the moment because we have the eyes watching us. Matter of fact, we have 4 eyes, the bifocal eyes that can see all the way through. So I can't go there, but I will tell you this. It's great It's great being here. I love talking to you all. We could sit back and do this all night. I think that, and listen, this is something my parents used to always, and just sitting back and seeing my dad's face right now, and the pride as I put these words together, he's an educator, and my parents were former educators, and I could only imagine because my wife Nita and I don't have kids, but I could only imagine the sense of pride that goes on when you see your child putting things together and speaking out the truisms and how that person feels. Because you know what? That's what life, I think that's what life's all about. It's all about interpretation. It's an interpretation of thyself. You don't want to go through being anybody else but you. You want to be as transparent as possible, and I know that there's a lot of strands moving about. There's celebrities, there's 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 life, right? There's a lot of puzzles, a lot of pieces moving about. And then here we are. It's a very precarious situation that I'm in because I found a group of people that I love to be around, and I'd love to entertain everything that you want to say to me. But then I have my sister I need to protect. I have a father. I have another sister, who's not into entertainment at all. I have a wife who's part of my channel, but this is truly my space, and it's a space that was created through COVID, me having COVID, and the loss of my mother, and I find it to be something so necessary for myself. So I'm not going to give it up. I'm selfish. I will not give this channel up, and I don't care. But at the same time, I have to be respectable, and I have to be conscious of those people that I love and those people that I am in front of with you all in the viewership, to be certain that I navigate myself around to hold my family up, which I always put at number one. That's the number one spot right there. Family is the number one spot, folks. If you ever think I'm going to come on this channel and demise my family, whether it be my dad and placate him and what he's doing, or my nephews, or my wife, or my sister Wendy, it's never going to happen. I'd rather take your viewership and take one more person, because Wendy taught me that. You know what? At the end of the day, Tommy, a view is a view. You're not gonna. And then my dad, because I realize, and I see now more than ever, what we've got, what we have from our parents. Like I see my dad and my sister all the time in Wendy. In Wendy, all of the time. I see things. I see the stubbornness. I see everything, and she's great. And my dad's great, but you have to know, you all have people out there. You all have family. Let's be introspective for a moment. Let's look inside of ourselves, and don't look at me and look, and I'm not on stage any longer. Let's look at ourselves and take a moment to say, all right, I've got 4 siblings and these parents who've had different relationships and different personalities. And as you've gone on through life, you realize that certain people carry different traits, right? Or characteristics. Traits are eye colors and hair color, and do you go bald at an early age? But I'm talking about characteristics, okay, folks? Leave traits alone. Characteristics. So my characteristics is I'm very aggressive at times. I'm very endearing. Uh, I'm consistent. I'm consistent in a way that I'm your friend. I will be your friend to the end, and I'll have your back. But I'm always late for stuff. I have to include that. I'm always late for stuff, and I have to work on that, people. We're 24 minutes in already. Dad, look at the patience of Job. That's the patience. That's the patience of Job, everybody. You know, that's the patience of Job. And you know what, Dad, I put him to the test all the time. I do it. I look at it. I check over. I'm looking over at him. And you know what? He'll stand and deliver like James Edward almost. Remember that movie? Stand and deliver. Hey, listen, that guy right there, doesn't he look so young? Every time we spend time together, and I'm looking at my face and I say, geez, I've got wrinkles coming in my forehead. I you know, I've got the laugh lines like I've been laughing way too long. You know, I used to have dimple like Donny Osmond, but now it's like, are they dimples or are they lines coming down? Am I happy? Am I sad? I can't tell. You know, um, but you know what? I'm trying to hold it together, folks. You know, he truly has me way beat and has a lot good melanin in his skin too. I have to lay outside all day. I wish for not a 24-hour day, but like a 48-hour day, you know, because it takes me forever to get tan. You know, I have to spray oil, lay on tinfoil, beg for the sun to shine on me for an extra couple minutes, you know, but he's got it, man. And Dad, you used to have reddish hair too. They used to call you Dirty Red, didn't they?
Correct. Right. Absolutely. A red bone, like James
Red
Earl
bone,
Jones.
red bone, like James Earl Jones.
Yes. Right. Right.
Look at that. Oh man, I'd be hating somebody in that neighborhood. I'd be looking over him like, this guy, man, go on. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. We'll see what happens. We'll see what life has in store for Tommy,
That's right.
for young Tom Williams. You know,
Mhm.
all I can do is be me.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right.
That's it. That's all I can do is be me.
Life is
You know,
more than a
it's
magazine.
it's
That's for sure.
it's a it's a different time. And when I think about the times that my dad had faced civil rights and things, but civil rights brought about unity. Yeah,
Sometimes, sometimes out of chaos comes construction. Yes. Yes.
right. But look, out of chaos now comes destruction.
Uh,
Right now,
we're in troubled times.
we're in
But
troubled times,
and
man.
again, these are the only
You know,
times that we have.
these are the
Yeah.
times we have.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Try to be fair to one another. Try to treat each other with respect, with dignity, and with kindness. And it'll come back to you. I believe in the karma. Oh yes. You know, if you sow good seed, good things will grow. Yes.
folks, I want to live.
Yes.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now.
Yes. Don't we
When I saw
all?
my father take that little dive off the side of the pool, you know, there might be a lot of people that sit back and young, old, whatever, to say, you know what, whatever life has for me, whatever. But I'm not too cocky. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I would love to be 91. I would, I would, I would,
That's,
I would love to. I would love to live to be 91
mm, that's okay.
because I believe that my own recipe, my own, key to success for myself in terms of swimming and uh, trying to, I mean, you all see me in the morning. I get up, I try to live the simplest life that you can live in 2022.
Mm,
I have a wife. We try to just move along and be kind, right? We're civil servants. We try to do the best for the people. Even my free time, I put forward towards the universe and trying to make it constructive and helping people to develop a platform for people to come and rest their shields and set down their armor. But you know what? You cannot fight the times that we live in. You can be a Josiah in the 40s, but then you come fast forward to 2022, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. It's funny because in New Jersey, we live close to the beach, kind of, sort of. Yeah, we're Jersey Shore. But that salt air didn't weather the vehicle like it did when you come down here. You remember when you were on Daytona Beach, Dad?
Oh yes, yes,
And you had the Lincoln at the time when you first moved down, right?
yeah,
Or no? Did you?
yeah. The Beamer, yeah, the
The
Lincoln
Beamer?
truck, the Navigator, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the road salt used to beat up the Beamer, and the chain on the bicycle. You could it was out there for you. You could ride on the beach,
Yeah.
but it would weather you out.
Yes, yes.
It's about proximity. You know, if you're away from the fire, you won't get burned. If you're closer to the fire, you're gonna get singed. You know, and right now, folks, it's just a really awkward time, and it leads into politics, and that's not something I touch. And it is what it is. Let us pray. Um, but in the meantime, folks, we got my dad on here. He's on here talking about justice will be served. Mr. Williams sounds just like James Earl Jones, somebody says. James Earl Jones. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I wish I had that pitch in my voice.
um,
You'll never find bum bum bada bum another love like mine. Someone who cares for you the way I do. Yeah, Dad, I'll tell you. So thanks for the wisdom, Mr. Williams. Let's go ahead and read some of these. Okay. Josiah was a king at 8 years old. Okay. Thank you very much, Stephanie Risby. Nice to have you back, Steph. Yeah. We were working our way back home, and my dad was almost saying, you know what, let's go on tomorrow. Let's hold back. But I thought it was very necessary because he has a passion, folks. He's had a passion for a long time, and that's something that I can identify with because I have a passion, and my passion is the water. You know, all I talk about is the water. If I'm not talking about surfing, I'm talking about swimming, and not swimming, it's sailing, and what it's something. Um, or some sort of longevity, something dealing with wellness and health. You know, we're not perfect, and this world is not made for perfection, as my dad always says. All we can do is try. Try. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Dad, uh, the first question. I've done some reading with the book naturally as well, and we're gonna have individuals come on and discuss. And for people who do come on the platform, my dad's novels span from everything between the educational arena to the Vietnam War to uh, the crime syndicate in Manhattan and New York City, uh, to
Great White
sharks
Shark.
and the great white sharks, right?
Yes,
Great white shark and the fishtail, but
yes,
it's not your ordinary fishtail. Even Moby Dick was a hit, wasn't it?
yes,
That was
yes,
read in all the educational. That was read by
yes,
many, many people, and
absolutely.
discussions. That was heavy. That was a heavy book because
Yes,
it dealt with humanity and a lot of things. And so everything leads to discussion. And so there's my dad, and he is a very thinking man, very well thought person. And when you think about it, people, nobody's going to invest their time or energy or money into something they feel as though is not going to be a success. My dad's books are all published, which means there were people who believed in him, who said, because publishers, they consume, they ingest, the information, the novel, what's being presented to them. And then they have to decide, is this going to be worth our while? So, folks, I say to you, he doesn't have some poop butt publishers saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and take a chance. These are bona fide people who stand on their public their craft as publishers, and stand behind their works and their products. And naturally, my dad's product being one of their products coming into their publishing house, they're standing behind it. And the only thing I'm trying to do is have you all see the work that's been done by Thomas Williams since 1979. You have your choice. Justice will be served may not be your genre. You may be an educator. You may be a student. You may be a person who loves the water and has had, or who are always appreciated, like my wife appreciated all the trilogies of Jaws. We just watched Jaws the other night. Jaws 3. We have a Fire Stick so we can pull up all the Jaws, all the orca movies, right? You all hear me talking about that sometimes. Now you have a situation where the shark, the great white shark, actually is befriended by a young boy, a youth. It's not impossible. We have ducks and little ducklings right outside of our house right here in South Florida. One was run over yesterday, and this is a real situation. And I went outside yesterday, and I'm not Dr. Doolittle, but I do like to talk to the animals and think I have a connection. Probably from when my parents and family used to call me the dog boy back in the 80s and 70s, because I was always late coming inside for dinner, and I always smelled like a dog when I came in and sat at the dinner table. They called me the dog boy. Also the bifocal fool. And brace face and stuff. Because I was hit with all kinds of sticks, folks. But look at me now. Still ugly. But all that to say, we have these connections with these works that authors put out. And it might not be for everybody. But my dad is in a position where he's put out numerous publications that speak to various audiences. So you could take your pick. Thomas Williams, he has 4 publications out. 4 publications out. All of them have hit. All of them have sold. The only reason why I'm on here now is because I have a platform. Wendy has a platform. It's coming up. It's going to be her podcast, everybody. It's going to be her podcast. She went on Instagram the other day. It's coming, right? We know how things go. You speak it up, and then it's going to be there. And then you'll be out there talking to me, and then you'll be going over there, and then you'll be all over the place. You'll have my dad over here, and he'll be going over there. And we talked about the other day, we talked about websites so that you all can find places to just go in and hone in just on literary. Because we know that people are out there who are just literary. There's a lot of people who are just literary. I'm not a literary person. I'm an all over the place person. I'm all over the place. I could talk literary, but I'm not literary because I don't put in the work. I don't put in the time. I don't do it. I haven't done it. I haven't. And I could say that. And it's kind of an embarrassment, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it's not over. Tomorrow I can go ahead and wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I don't want to go to swimming, Dad. I want to read your 4 novels today. I'm going to read them. And you know what else? I'm going to go out and get the glasses. Because what do I always say, everybody? Another day to make it right. I might be blind when I go to sleep, but in the morning time, I could wake up with an epiphany that could open my eyes wide and bring me forward twofold. Well, tonight's conversation is going to be all about Justice Will Be Served by Thomas Williams. That I have my first question, as I did read some of the book, and I'm moving on through it, and I do find it to be very, very riveting, you know, very engaging. I mean, I'm all over the place, so there's a reason why I haven't finished it thus far, because it takes me a while. It takes me a while, but with each page that I turn, I hold myself, because I don't want to stop at just any page. You want to make sure, you want to be sure that when you leave off, you could pick up. So a good thing when you're reading is to go chapter by chapter. You don't want to go page by page. How many chapters are in that book, Dad? I know 584 pages. Justice Will Be Served. How many chapters?
17.
17. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to take it to the early times. Okay. And in your book, you gave the prime mission of the Concerned Citizen Group, which was the CCG. I know that the last person who came on and had a discussion with you kept on speaking about acronyms, folks. And the acronyms, they talk about CCG. And we're talking about the Crime Syndicate organization in New York City. And so with the syndicate,
It's, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying you have one side, which is the crime or the
Yes.
criminals, and then you have the other side, which are the concerned citizens.
Yes.
They're concerned citizens.
Yes.
And they're not comprised of any particular scope of people.
Right.
They're not just judges. They could be people like you and me, folks. You have to understand.
Characters are differentiated without a doubt. There are 12 of them. And it's not just organized crime that the concerned citizens are pushing to alleviate, but it is simple things that keep people afraid to go into the subway, afraid to walk down the street after dark, afraid to go out on the tennis courts and play after dark, afraid to do many things, afraid to get on the elevator in one's own apartment building, afraid of everything. And the justice system, as far as the concerned citizens are concerned, is not working. Criminals go through what might be termed a revolving door. They're sentenced, but the sentences are not always carried out. And this is the major concern of the concerned citizens. They want the sentences carried out so as to show those who have in mind doing the same thing a different mindset. No, no, no. We don't want to do it because we stand a chance of being executed as was handed down by the judges. And the judges were frustrated because they found in many cases, people coming before them who had been before them several years before. And so the concerned citizens hit every level, every level. But the unique thing was that the concerned citizens wanted to know from the judge, who was a member, whether or not the verdict handed down was a just verdict in his opinion. And if he said yes, then arrangements were made to have the execution take place. And it was always something not secretively done, but it was done with high publication, with previous notification that John Doe is going to be executed within the next 2 weeks. And the police department was frustrated. The FBI was frustrated. The mafia was frustrated. Uh, Everybody was wondering how can these vigilante people running around saying what they're going to do and then carry out what they said they were going to do. And this was a scary thing. But at the same time, it was something that required a great deal of organization, which you will see as you move through the pages, how these executions were carried out, the structure as such. Uh, Everybody wanted to be safe, but we'll see what we want doesn't always work out to what we get. And the city, in the view of some, is turning into a wild, wild west situation. But in terms of some other people, it was good because it opened the eyes of those would be criminals. At least uh, that's what the group wanted to do. They wanted to stop, decrease crime. And whether or not this happens, you'll have to read the page. All that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
And you will see
Some,
as you move
someone
through.
says that that's scary, Mr. Williams. That's a scary way to live. But that's the
Mhm.
reality. There's a lot of things going on out in the subways and things like that. I mean, it doesn't take a major city to be faced with all that's going on right now. Especially, I had you hear about all kinds of stuff going on. You hear about all kinds of things going on, and not only that, but even as simple as and a thing that I always attack and I always try to take a look at is customer service, folks. You look at customer service and the way that service oriented businesses, it should really be all about the customers. Hey, how you doing today? What's going on? How can I help you? And things of that nature. You okay? Everything okay? But a lot of times that people are, it's not happening like that. You're not getting the customer service that you would presume to expect, that you would expect, right now. You would think that in troubled times and, times of uncertainty and everything, that we would be cohesive. All words go back to cohesiveness, but we're not that. We're not that type of people right now. And therefore we fall short. And I think that this book is very appropriate to the times right now. It certainly is. Because and then that's that might be my one gift. I'm not a reader, but I can definitely see things. I can definitely see things and try to see where things might be able to fit. I'm a puzzler. A lot of times, people who don't put puzzles together, they might look at a puzzle and say for the first time, you know what, hey, that piece right there goes with that piece right there. And that just comes to second nature for some people. And I think that my dad's book is very appropriate to the separation that's going on amongst not just the nation, but between the nations, between the worlds, between the cultures. We're all over the place. It's a very, very tough time right now, and there is no particular answer. I think that I think that if everybody understands that the world is in trouble, and we all need to hold on
Mhm.
and figure out what we are going to do about it. Not
Mhm.
certain nations, not just say, well, the United States, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. If we all think collectively on what we need to do, I think that it'll be a better place. And I think that, you know, my dad really hit on something because, you know, the penile system is that's a whole nother system. And these people know they know no liberties. They know there's no freedoms. There's no half in and half out. Either you're enslaved or you're free. And, you know, then there comes the reasons behind, which even becomes deeper. So, you know, I think that I think that the book is a hit. I can identify with the CCG. I think that's a super name for it because CCG representing the citizens. Because when it all boils down, it is about the citizens, you know, and the citizens, you know, I think all citizens are concerned. You know, we're concerned. We all are concerned about our future. Um, and it's a coalition, a uh, group of people who get together with a common thought. And you know, there have been probably productions that have been put out that are similar, but you know, within the author's mind, you know, comes the difference. You know, comes the difference, and the uh, and therein lies their thought processes. You know, because I mean, my dad and he watches movies all the time. Like I said before, he watched the other day. I know he watched no, not Rambo, Rocky. We watched Rocky. That was the first time he pulled back and said, okay, no gangster movies. I like Rocky. So we put on Rocky 3. And then Rocky 4 we wanted to watch. We didn't watch it. Come here, Bug. We didn't watch Rocky 4 the other day, but we did watch Rocky 3. Um, but generally it's a gangster movie and something dealing with the syndicate families or something like that. Uh, but my dad, he definitely researches, has discussions. Like he said the other day, he had friends when he was a kid, uh, all different cultures. I know he speaks to me about his different friends, Italians and Polish, Asian, and all different walks, and and I think it's necessary because therein lies the different cultures, the different mannerisms. You know, even the way I've never heard my dad. Uh, you know, I mean, when you talk about a father who's literary, you know, Shakespeare and all that stuff, you know, and folks, you hear me talking on here, and then we talk and things, and but to read his works and get into the words, and some people do too much, you know, they go beyond the call of duty to create the character. But it's like ladies, it's like going to a nail salon and having them put a clear coat on or put a coat of nail polish on, and they put just the right amount of paint over the top of your nail. You don't want to overspray, fellas. You know what I mean? If you're spray painting something, you don't want to overspray something. You want it just to come down perfectly. And that's what he does. He comes on perfectly. That is no overlay. It's coming on just with the right terminology, just with the right adjectives, just with the right description, so you fully understand the character, the frame of reference, you know, the situation that they're in. And it really gives you a chance to embody the predicament that's being displayed before you. And I'll tell you, it's a really great piece. All of my dad, one thing he does is he gives his all. When he's going to explain something, When you finish up with that sentence that you've read, you're going to know exactly what it looks like, what it feels like to be in that room. It's going to take you right there. Come here, Boogie. Uh, and that's my dad right there. I want to take one more question for you, Dad. um, was the CCG, and for those who were with me earlier, that's the Concerned Citizen Group. Um, was the CCG concerned about the collateral damage they caused or might cause by their uh, vigilantism?
Yeah, this is a strong point, one that they had to weigh very carefully. And then they decided early on that they could not be overly bothered with the idea of the effect of collateral damage. Uh, they decided that the collateral damage was a positive thing, in that those out there who are of the mind of creating a situation which is contrary to law and order, that it's not worth it because the CCG was getting everyone. Uh, in other words, collateral damage was not a major issue.
Mm,
No, not at all.
wow,
And to say that, I understand it's pretty heavy.
it is,
Be-
because that
This
that
is
that
why,
goes to show
yeah,
that's like doing something without any conscience.
this is
You're moving
why
on with no conscience.
This is why they were considered a vigilante group, and this is why the NYPD was so interested in bringing this group to justice. The FBI was interested in bringing this group to justice. The mafia was interested in uh, vengeance because of what the CCG had done. uh, Everybody was chasing the CCG, and the CCG recognized that fact. But they were dedicated individuals. They were dedicated to the fact that they wanted to decrease the crime rate in the five boroughs of New York City. And they actually did. But it wasn't very easy. It wasn't all peaches and cream. Some suffered, without a doubt, with their lives. The situation many times took different avenues and dangerous turns, but we'll see what holds the group together through everything. Ah,
Dad, we have Stephanie Risby. Stephanie Risby, I've been kind of clocking your little comments here, and I've been saying it's called mood in place typewriting. Mood in place typewriting. Um,
moon
it's
in
called
place.
mood in place. So I guess the mood
Well,
you're in, the place and time, typewriting,
okay.
different things.
I don't profess to know everything.
Good
I just put
stuff.
down what my muse tells me to put down.
Uh huh.
Or
Uh
as they
huh.
say in the
All right. All right.
delicatessen, for better or for worse.
For butter or for worse. Yeah, for butter. All right. A lot of lives were lost due to collateral damage.
Yes,
Stephanie Risby also says, true,
yes,
true indeed. It's a dark
yes.
world. And there's one other comment I want to highlight from Stephanie um, that I had seen. Oh, you like it? Do you like Macbeth as well, Mr.
Ah,
Williams?
yes, Macbeth, of course, of course, of course. Macbeth, what do you want to know about Macbeth?
You want to say
Ah,
something?
tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in its petty pace to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted pools away to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Please don't get me started.
I tell you, that guy will put me to sleep every time.
Boy.
He's the master of those things. I'll tell you, folks.
Master of
It's
disaster.
it's amazing. He gets on the phone. We were on the phone with a college buddy of his, who's a doctor, and you know, it was a different age, college life. My dad talked about, the fact that you had to take certain languages. He speaks Spanish pretty much fluently, not just Spanish for conversation. That guy could speak Spanish and dance salsa and eat a eat a tamale in
Please
about
don't take
five
me up
seconds
too
flat.
high. I have too far to fall, please.
Trust me, I'm not taking you
What
much
is,
higher.
what is not.
All right, yeah, but then we have so he's quite the consummate reader and writer, folks. Yeah, he's Mr. Williams seems like he's a law and order kind of guy.
Yes, yes. Without law and order, we're in a sad place. It's for everybody. It's to give you the feeling of being safe, of enjoying life. If we had no order, then what would we be like? You can see a lot of that in our society today. The lack of law and order. Lack of, but then again, it's not just the law, it's how it is administered. Order. How do you define order? Ah, there's more to it than meets the eye. Well, we'll see what the CCG thinks about law and order. Yes,
CCG.
we cover it.
Oh, cover. All right. And I know I said I had one. I had just had one more question.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to. I want to be cautious. I don't want to give too much away. Uh, well, listen to this. This is kind of a blanket statement because a lot of our viewers are in different regions of the nation and the globe.
Hmm.
So the book was set in New York City.
Hmm.
Could these events happen in any big city?
Without a doubt. Without a
Yeah.
doubt. A town, a small town, absolutely, without a doubt. In any town that has neighborhoods, and they all have neighborhoods. Yes.
You grew up in Atlantic City, Dad. I mean, did you were some of these things were they connected to any childhood type of, did you see any, because I know you grew up in their 30s and 40s. You
Yes.
might as well say the 30s, 40s, and then you were in the man, and then you move forward.
When I stopped to think about it, I enjoyed my childhood. I enjoyed my childhood. Uh, you don't miss something that you never had, so they say. But there are certain things that stick with you 100%. And we knew how to have fun in the old days. We had running games. Uh, when I
Running
say
stone battles.
I mean, uh,
You used to tell me
We
about the
had a
Running
game
Stone battles.
can, running stone battles, hip. Oh yes, yes, all those things. Here we go, Zudio. We had all of those games. Uh, the kids were outside, latchkey kids. Yeah, it was nothing. Everybody had a key. You put it around your neck on a string or deep into your pocket. Make sure that you have your key. Come home for lunch. Well, yes, yes, they were good things that we did. And if we were in bad shape, many times we didn't realize that we were in bad shape. We didn't think so. We were having fun, enjoying one another.
Yeah,
Yes, we had
sounds like
closeness in the neighborhoods. It was wonderful things. Yes, school was great. Enjoyed school. Wasn't too swift in everything, that's for sure. But I enjoyed school. Yes, yes.
very nice. Well, listen, folks. This is my dad. This is Mr. Williams, Mr. Thomas D. Williams. Um, he does have this publication out right now. Justice Will Be Served is the big push right now. That's the publication we're putting out here. He has three others that are out there, and we'll breeze upon them and delve into those works just the same as we are right now with this um, latest work. But right now, there's a reason why we're focusing on this one because he's not done, folks. This man is in the lab on any given day. He's right there, pressed right there with his pen, and he likes certain pens too. I've taken him to the store, Office Depot, and different stores, and he wants certain pens. I don't know. He wants to get a feel for the diameter in between his hands and and things of that nature. So there's a certain thing, a certain way a writer feels, and at least this writer here. And I think it's we really have a vantage point to have a writer amongst us of not just a multitude of publications, but also a variety of work. Because everything can bring about a conversation. You don't have to necessarily pick up the book, feel the weight of the book, know the pages and the chapters in the book to be able to be curious.
Yeah, I'd just like to say one thing, Tom.
Yeah,
Uh, Folks, this is something I've always believed, and I think it's true. As long as you're living, it's never too late to do what you might have done. You put your mind to it, go inside of your own head. Everybody has a story. Everybody. Put it down. Get a tape recorder. Talk to it. Talk to your tape recorder. Break your life. Break your life into segments. Um, Kindergarten through eighth grade. Just saying. Do you remember some of the teachers, some of the events that happened, good and bad, whatever? Put them down. It's your story. You went to school beyond high school. You went to college. Put down your experiences while you were in the college. Went into the military. Talk about your. When I say put down, I'm talking about talking, not necessarily writing. Talk, talk, and you find that you'll get things done. The writing in comes later, but you talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Have a hideaway, a place where you retreat into your own little area and you talk to the tape recorder about segments. You have a story. Everybody has a story. And this is something that we all like to hear about stories about other people. Absolutely. Good and bad. Doesn't make any difference. We want to hear the story. We want to be entertained. And another thing you might keep in mind, you do this. You put it down, and long after, as said in Hamlet, after the great Caesar, dead and turned to clay, now this mud stops the farmer's hut to keep the wind away. The words to that effect. I probably messed it up. I'm sure I did. But at any rate, what I'm saying is, people will read you long after you're gone, and this in itself is a wonderful feeling. Just think about it. You will be here for posterity. Just right, just right. Everybody is not going to appreciate your work, but if you put it down, somebody will appreciate it. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And don't think that all of your writings are going to bring you fame and fortune. It happens with some people, but there are so many people who write just for the sake of writing, and that's a wonderful thing. This is a wonderful thing indeed. Well, I'll get off the soapbox, but
Mhm.
then again, that's the only box we have. We hope
That's all
that
we got.
yes,
Hey,
if we,
Dad, I know about a month
we
ago, about a month or two ago, I shared folks, and I don't know if I really made a big stink about it, but I do plan on, and one of my things on my bucket list is come up with a book for myself, and it's my journey, and Dad, you always seem to put out some information, to give me some direction and things, and I think you're right. If you clump it all together, you go through um, different points in your life,
hmm
then that's good. You go ahead and you hit elementary school, you go on to
yeah,
college, and you go on to whatever have you, and
yeah.
then post
Talk
college and things,
about it. Talk about it, and
and you just talk
put it
about it.
on your disc, on a
And
cassette
listen,
tape. Talk
I
about
got
it.
I got so much stuff. It's so heavy, and folks, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, and I'm gonna go ahead and write this book, and my dad's gonna be right here on my side and guide me through, and this is the magic of it all, and this is what I'm gonna utilize this guy for. I'm telling you, you all always hear me talk about and reference my dad as that's my guy, my guy. You know why? Because folks, as you go through life and as you move through relationships with your friends, family, loved ones, and all those folks, the best thing you could do is to be honest and forthright in your questions, because you ask your questions because you want answers, don't you? And so you're not going to get those answers unless you ask the questions, unless you're as transparent as possible. So you know, it is really, really, it's amazing. Life is truly amazing. I tell you, because no 2 days are the same. No 2 days are the same.
As you go through life, brother, whatever may be your goal, keep your eye on the donut and not upon the hole. I saw that on a sign many years ago, crossing the Ben Franklin Bridge, coming out of Philadelphia. And that was a sign advertising some bakery, but they had that saying up there, and it stuck with me. You know, you can't determine what your brain covers. That just stuck with me. Why? Yeah, don't ask me. Ask my brain. Maybe some phrenologist could talk more about that. But
If you had a,
it's
hey,
something.
listen, if you
Mhm.
were, if, I like jelly donuts. There's no hole in them.
Yes, 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 yes.
There's no
Jelly.
hole.
Billy Eckstein says jelly stays on my mind.
Yeah, jelly.
Yes.
As Stephanie
Oh,
Risby says, "Wow, that's deep, Mr. Williams." Jeez, Stephanie Risby also says that she would like to engage in a literary discussion in the future. So um, she's been
Excellent.
putting quite a bit of these comments up, and
Hmm.
uh, I'm uh, I'm pleased, and I'm also getting educated on this, Stephanie, as we move forward. You know, all the time. I've seen your name for a long time, Stephanie, and then I've seen that I haven't seen your name for a while, and now I'm seeing your name, and it's nice. I will say that it's nice because um, this time that I'm putting forward right now, for my dad, that we could be watching movies and chilling and eating popcorn. You know, I want to get on here because I am type braggadocious when it comes to my dad and my parents because they are all stars, always will be. They and I started it by saying superheroes, where are they? In my household, they're right here. They're right here, folks. I don't have to look far. I have a superhero in my sisters. I'm the youngest. My sisters, I used to watch my oldest sister in the courtroom do her thing and say, wow, she's fantastic. She really is. You know, it's all about passion, people. It's all about passion, from what I found. You know, when you take on something, if you don't move through with the passion, with a sense of ownership, with a sense of determination, a sense of knowledge as to why you're doing what you do. Because if you're confused, then who's gonna really admire you? What is to admire in confusion, chaos, and disarray? You want organization, you want structure, you want a focus. And I find that in my parents. I find that in my sisters. So I'm going to answer your question because I know you all are pivoting around and squashing farts out at every cheek. We're all a thinking family. We remain in the lab all the time. We have lots to think about, lots to consider. We have role models in the forefront, in the foreground. And me and my sisters, we reflect, we think about who we are, what we've seen, what guides us towards the light for ourselves. We're three separate individuals, and I know you see that, I'm sure. Wendy, she's extraordinary in her own right. You know, she's to be admired from close and afar. I've watched her show intently. I've watched her show and called her and said, Wendy, you know, she has certain idiosyncrasies, certain quirkiness. She pulls a note out of the strangest places and took glasses and stuff. And she's just, it's amazing. We're all, and my dad's, he's always said, the world is your stage. And he does certain things and mannerisms. And as I go through my day, I find myself doing things. I was walking around this place today in a whole big park of people. And I felt like, you know, people are looking over at me and I'm looking and it just feels, if you don't believe in yourself, then who will? And I truly believe that. You have to value yourself. If not, you'll be starting out not just in a negative, but you'll be starting out be in a bad way. You have to believe in yourself, folks.
Hmm.
You know, you have to. You have to be
Shakespeare,
able to,
yes,
you
Shakespeare
know,
told,
say something, Dad.
to thine own self be true, and it must follow as night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. That's so true.
So true. Yeah, you have to believe in yourself, people. When I get up in the morning and I get in that pool and address you all, it's not so much for you all. I'm trying to put up the title and Wendy Williams' brother and whatever, because I am and whatever. And you know, what, where are we going with this? But, at the end of the day, I know that when I say another day to make it right, I'm not talking to you all. I'm speaking to myself. And from there, anything that you all give me is the cream and the cherry on top. I know that's right. Yes, Tommy. Oh, wow. Make it a great day. And because you know what? If you don't push out the positive vibes, and if you're not nice to people, I tell my father all the time, I'm nice to my neighbors. My neighbors will come by and do anything I want to do. I want them to do. I can say, you know what? My hand is broken. Can you clean my toilet? And be cleaned up by cleaned up in 20 minutes. Because you're nice. You're nice. Be nice to everything around you. God's creatures. We have ducks, birds, exotic birds, all kinds of things going on all the time outside. Stuff I didn't see in Jersey. But you embrace the planet in which we live. And you niceness begets niceness. My father always said it. Niceness begets niceness. And that's why no matter how big the hatchet, no matter how people chop away at the family and, all that goes on, listen, first of all, I know that things could be far worse. So it's important that we recognize our blessings. It's important that we understand that, these days are a gift. We don't deserve these days. We didn't earn them. They're delivered to us. They're delivered to us. And it's up to us to pay it forward, to show we're worthy of this day that we have so that we can get another day. So, folks, I encourage you all to secure a copy of this book, Justice Will Be Served. I'm not going to stay on here and chop away at you all's time for any longer. My dad and I can get on here and do this all night. He's 91, but that guy is built to last. I don't know what kind of lithium. He's beyond regular Eveready. He's on some lithium battery, some rechargeable battery. He's got something special going on right there, and I do appreciate him. And I love him to death. And I encourage you all who still have your parents, you take time out and make a phone call and share and spend time out. Tell your folks, tell your loved one, tell your wife, tell your husband that you love them, that you need them, you believe in them. You believe in yourself along the way. You be grateful for the day that you've gotten and be encouraged about tomorrow. God willing, you wake up, you open your eyes and see another one come. And tune into the show, because we'll make sure we show you how to do it right here on Tommy Williams and the Tommy Williams Show. We'll be back again tomorrow talking about my dad's book again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. All you have to do is click the membership button. I haven't done it, but there's plenty of people that can guide you through the process. If you want to be an extraordinary member, you can go ahead and become a super cat. Super cat, you get special perks as well. We bring you a little closer into the family. We have some more engaging conversation. And then also we give giveaways. So that might be something you're looking into. But folks, it doesn't cost a dime to spend some time here with the Tommy Williams Show. So we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Happy Sunday to you all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Travel safe if you're getting on the road. Justice Will Be Served is the book. You can get it by cash apping me if you're within the states. The Tommy Williams Show, Cash App, The Tommy Williams Show. And if you're literary, and Stephanie Risby, I do anticipate you securing a copy of this book pronto, real soon, so that you can come in and have a conversation with my dad and share your findings through your reading of Justice Will Be Served. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Dad, you want to close us out?
Well, I think you said it all, Tommy. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you said, and I appreciate uh, the viewers. I welcome all dialogue. Please
Good
read
stuff.
me.
I see I have Lorenzo Ice T Thomas. I was just looking down here. Oh, wow. That's heavy
Yeah.
duty. Uh, Lorenzo Ice T Thomas, he's a DJ down here, Dad. He's actually
Uh-huh.
from Manhattan. I believe I have it right, Manhattan. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And he's been following along with the channel for a long time. Virginia State. So, Lorenzo, hey, there it is, VSU. Bam. Glad you were able to join in, everybody. And take care of yourselves. Thank you, Dad.
All right.
Everybody get some
Night,
rest.
night,
Take care
everyone.
of yourselves. Have a great night.
All right.
Bye, everybody.